And welcome back to Bros in a Landfill. We're back with 651 and yeah.
Can I just say that, like,
we're gonna crank that monkey boy as we said in a previous episode.
Did we say that?
Yes, we did. It was like the very first episode of World 10, like however many months ago.
I don't remember anything that happens on this show.
Yeah, that's
we established that already. Yeah. I don't. This is
okay.
I think
that's a good start,
this...
though, considering
that was a good start.
Considering how awful my warm-up session was today, like that was a good first attempt.
Tark has grown as a monkey man since we've last played this.
True.
He's been increasing his monkey power level. I'm literally wearing a gorilla onesie this morning, and I did not think about. It had nothing to do with Bros in a Landfill. I was like, I just want to wear this, and so now I'm like,
that second elbow's rough.
Yeah. I think we've established that you don't think about the show outside of the recording sessions.
That's true, or I mean, barely even within the recording session.
Yeah.
To be honest. But if I just go and get my red T-shirt, this is a Gone cosplay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
True. Too bad that's not my main.
Shit.
You need to be wearing a skirt with your gorilla outfits.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I have one I can loan you.
Wow, really?
Oh. Okay.
Hey man, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you're willing to
shit.
send it over
Okay.
Oh
yep.
no!
That's the last hard part right there. When the second part starts to move back towards the goal, that's the hardest part of this level.
Dude, the growth on display.
Yeah, Tar has made severe progress. I'm quite concerned.
Well, we were supposed to hit this stage last recording session, and I've only grinded this stage harder.
He's increased his monkey skills. He started wearing skirts. I mean, what's...
Well, I mean,
what isn't impossible?
Well, that was a long ass time. I only did that for a Halloween cross dress once.
Were you dressing as Mimi?
No, I was actually dressed as Dahlia Hawthorne from Ace Attorney.
That's incredible.
That is the most evil thing I've ever heard.
I know.
Yeah, that...
I mean, if you know...
That is a... it's been a long time since I played that game, but I remember how despicable that character was.
It's a shame that she doesn't get any real, get much real screen time, outside of, the...
Opening case.
Backstory cases. Yeah, well, the opening and,
yeah, and backstory
when she shows up, But that backstory, sometimes she's mainly just playing a character, the entire time, so it's, you're not really even...
I still remember.
Nope, we're not good.
It's 9 times out of 10 when Dahlia's on screen, she's pretending to be someone else, she has an act on. It's we don't get any of the real meat and potatoes of her character.
Sorry to any of our viewers who don't know who Dahlia Hawthorne is.
You're better off not knowing.
Yeah, true.
We all met because of an Ace Attorney fan site, and Ace Attorney itself is a pretty niche video game series. So I kind of because of
not so much anymore.
It's pretty niche. I mean, the way
it's expanded a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot more mainstream now, given the re-releases and stuff.
It's bizarre to me that you can play Phoenix Wright on fucking Xbox these days. How weird is that?
Yeah, next you'll be playing God of War on Xbox.
Sure.
Or any other. I am casually just dropping in stuff from the Hipwitch Discord now.
Oh wow. We're really aiming to make an accessible episode here, aren't we?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
But honestly, because we all met because of Ace Attorney, it's easy on this show to just assume that everybody knows what Ace Attorney is. I'm yeah. I mean...
Well, I mean, everyone knows... everyone knew the meme for it. It's kind of... that the objection meme has kind of become dead.
Well, the new meme is getting weird internet arguments and turning them into an Ace Attorney case, where they're arguing about if water...
Well, no, that's been taken over by... Except that's been taken over by Among Us.
No, I still see the Ace Attorney argument pop up every now and again. I have yet to see an argument pop up in the form of Among Us text chat.
Yeah, well, like, the Ace Attorney way of arguing is so much more exciting.
It is.
The characters are like, what? And, like, someone say something important, and you hear the sound effect of someone being slapped in the face. You know, like, it's like, man.
And it's a shame they didn't they didn't capture the same energy in the anime. Like I really wish the anime had more like of the live action.
Yeah, the live action
game,
one
like,
nailed it. They
that
had
was,
them literally
like,
hurl holograms at each other and say, "Take that." So like, that was
like
perfect.
the most Japanese thing.
Yeah, but like they took care to interpret like the way these games express themselves.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the anime actually, but I guess it's probably it looks a bit low budget, which is not like a knock against it or anything, but it probably just has to be a bit more conservative than, you know,
Well, it has
humorously than a
it has
visual
a bit
novel.
Yeah, well, it has the A1 problem where because A1 like is a studio that like can be very inconsistent due to them not like having a specific like dedicated teams. It's a lot of you never know who's going to actually work on a project with A1.
Right.
It's got a bit of that like I think the Ace Attorney anime hit A1 at the wrong time or like had the wrong team working on it.
At the very least, like it is a show about characters talking at desks, so like it doesn't seem impossible to.
No!
Oh!
Got it.
We nearly tasted success.
It's like, it's like the anime has its fans and it does have its funny moments. Like it doesn't particularly do it for me because on one hand I think it tries to be a bit more like a down to earth, almost like more faithful. People talking in courtroom. Mm-hmm. But given the schedule or the time frame that those animes have, the pacing for me just felt a little too quick to really delve into the cases. Where I kind of wish they took a bit more liberties in just the presentation.
No. Right, or at
like,
least
rather than just
at least you could alter the story to be something that is better, like works that quickly. Like if you just try and cram a story meant to take quite a while into a short space of time, like it's just a bit disorienting, I think.
Well, because there are some changes, but the changes always feel like a little bit more like convenience. Like it's a convenient way to wrap the mystery up quicker because they don't have time to go through all the.
It's not like a proper adaptation. It's like just skipping a few steps, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't inherently have problems with that. Like the most important thing when you adapt something is not necessarily the accuracy to the source material, but it's capturing the feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
I do feel like something like the movie, which took a lot of liberties with the story, felt so much more faithful to the feel of Ace Attorney than the anime.
News hacker.
You've got this, Tar.
News hacker.
I need to remember how to deal with the direction change here.
Okay. Everyone watch very closely!
Can I just say that the like in the live action movie, the scene with the parrot, like when the parrot's test mind still gets me, still chokes me up when I see it.
It's oh, you mean like the tragic aspect or the hilarious aspect?
Yeah, the tragic aspect, like where like it they have like
they make that part of the movie
Johnny
a gut
Yogi's
punch, yeah.
Yeah, like there's like I don't have much I don't want to say too much in terms of like spoilers, but I just like I appreciate when like they add that extra flavor because you didn't really get that sort of thing in the game. You didn't get that extra sort of flavor. Like the killer in that case, like that part of the case, like was like a kind of a sad character, but they never really delved too much onto it.
Yeah, well, I think as much as like the movie is like recreating the craziness of the game with real people, I think they also, I guess they probably recognize that like when you put real faces and real people into a situation, like I guess you have to address the ramifications a little bit more, like, because I don't know, like our brain, I guess, probably wants that, or has a tendency to want that. There's at least the potential, and I think they brought it out for sure. Even within such a ridiculous movie, they managed to find humanity.
But I think it also goes more into the philosophy of the adaptation, where it's like it's more than just an adaptation. They were making their own mark on the series.
Yeah.
Like, and now, like when I look at Yana Yugi's character now, it's like that's what I like. Like the movie's left that mark. So like even when I play the games and I see that stuff, I can't get that scene out of my head, and it has positively affected my outlook on the games.
Yeah, it's become part of.
Really
your
hope Audacity
story.
didn't pick that up.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's what I think with the entire show.
Oh, everyone tried to talk at the same time.
Yeah.
I wonder how other like video game adaptations that are coming up are going to deal with the same kinds of things. Like I'm thinking of, like there's going to be a Mario movie happening, right? And that seems like a movie where they could get really caught up in trying to make it match the games exactly, and then make a movie that kind of doesn't really. That's just kind of weird because like it is concerned with like being accurate to something else. Yeah. But at the same time, like if you get too weird, then like people are alienated. I actually have no idea how to make a Mario movie.
Yeah, it's really striking that balance. Like I'd say something like Sonic. I think part of the reason why the Sonic movie works so well is because Sonic already has like this defined character that you can really work and mold into. Plus, you have so much. Like,
I heard they actually didn't even do that with the Sonic movie. I heard that Sonic's character in the movie is actually closer to what Tails' character arc, or what a character arc they would have used for Tails, not Sonic.
Yeah, no, but like the point where I'm making is like Sonic, like because Sonic and the Sonic franchise has so much story content to work from, there's a lot to pool and adapt and mold. Where when I think of something like Mario, like
dang, I can't get
you don't really like Mario is just kind of like a face for whatever you want. Like
yeah,
like he's more like an actor in his own world, whereas Sonic, like there are multiple different Sonics, but like each Sonic like has its own identity.
I definitely think Tara's right in that they did go for an interesting interpretation, but like it is based off of something. Like he's still like, I don't know, loving adventure. He like is a bit of a rascal and stuff like that. Like that stuff is. They definitely took aspects of characterization from the games. It feels like the movie feels more like an origin story for Sonic than anything. He's definitely more like he's a lot like a child in that movie. Like they've said, like in interviews and stuff, like they're kind of going for that like kid seeing the world for the first time kind of vibe. And he's really hyperactive in that sense, which is
it definitely.
It's a unique take, but it's not based in nothing. Like you can sort of see the seeds.
It definitely feels like it definitely feels like pre-Sonic 1.
Yes.
Like sort of vibe.
And yeah, this is.
And
I mean, the movie Sonic meets Eggman for the first time. You know.
Shoot.
Yeah. But to the same extent, like I think that's partially what works. Is like when you're making an adaptation, like you don't necessarily want to tell the same exact story like as the game, because you want to bring in old fans to watch. If you already know what like the Sonic story is, like you have like you have a little less interest or things to engage with when you're actually watching the movie. Like if you're clear from the get-go saying that this is your own thing. Actually, and I think this is like where like some of the difference between like the Ace Attorney movie and anime come in for me. The Ace Attorney movie from the get-go is like, this is our own thing. Like this is our interpretation of Ace Attorney if it was a live action.
Yeah, well, I mean,
movie.
But once you're in live action, you have no choice but to be like, this is our own thing, because you can't. Like an anime seemed like a much cleaner transition. I mean, looking at the visual novel, you could almost say like, this looks like it should be an anime. So it's funny that the movie honestly feels more like the game than the anime does by what you're saying. Because like stylistically, I think it seems ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think it feels more like the games because it made the changes necessary because like
for a different medium. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, where yes, like anime is like still like, oh, it's still cartoony and like will have similar aesthetic to the game and stuff, but just due to the release structure of anime, the amount of like budget, episodes, whatever, like if anything, I feel like it tries too hard to be a straight adaptation of the game, making cuts when needed.
Yeah.
To the story. Now, granted, I'm saying this is specifically for the first season. Like, I never got around to watching the second season of the anime, and I know that they have some anime original cases in that.
Interesting. That seems like a good idea, like to make some cases that are built for the format, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd love to see like Ace Attorney get like the Detective Conan treatment, where it's like, oh, every so often they have like these longer multi-port like canon like source material episodes. But like in the meantime, like we have like these like shorter like 1-2 part like filler episodes.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think that could
like
be fun in Ace Attorney.
Like actually, if anything, if there's gonna do an Ace Attorney anime, I'd almost rather see anything but what is in the games at times, because there's some stories you can only tell in an anime format, similar to like how the Ace Attorney manga tells different stories and like has different cases than the games. And I think it's better off because of that.
Yeah, like it could just be its own continuity, you know. Like it's okay to like as long as the kind of broad strokes of the story are the same, and you don't like I think there are certain character relationships and backstories that are like certain moments that you have to do, but like they could just have their own canons. Like I'm kind of warming up to the idea of having alternate canons of things. Like how the Dragon Ball anime and manga at the moment have like some pretty decent differences in each version. It's kind of interesting seeing a different take on the same events. Yeah, I don't know. Or even something as drastic as like the Sonic movie, where it has a completely different like set of rules and stuff, but still feels like Sonic.
Well, it's some of the part of the way I see it is that when you're dealing with any sort of adaptation, like if you don't nail the adaptation, like if you're trying to do a straight adaptation, if you don't nail it, if you don't like make it like as close to 100% accurate as you can, you're gonna leave people like you're gonna leave the fans like no matter how close to being good it is, you're gonna leave a lot of fans feeling jilted. Whereas if you just from the get-go say this is our own interpretation, yeah, the fans are not gonna like the hardcores might be a bit miffed that they didn't get exactly what they want, but at the same time it can stand on its own feet and be good in its own merits rather than having a point of comparison with the source content.
I mean, like, it's kind of the same problem with even like sequels. Like trying to recapture the same magic of anything more than once is tricky, because I mean, it's not exactly how life experience works. Like something is awesome and amazing, and then like you move on and find more stuff that is
all that good momentum I had at the start of the episode is gone.
Yeah, it's because we're talking too seriously. We're not making silly, inappropriate monkey jokes.
I don't know. It's funny. Like I woke up, I put on a gorilla onesie, and then I was like, "Let's talk about art." Like,
I mean, you are an artist. There's nothing to be ashamed of that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like this is just the kind of thing that I like thinking about obsessively. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I come onto the show and I say like "fuck birds," and sometimes I'm like, so you know, like sometimes it's about the core tenets of the brand, and not the specific events that those tenets materialize into. And then sip a big wine.
If we want to talk about sequels, we're going to go into a very bros discussion. I've got a sort of confession.
No. Shit.
Yes, I was the reason why Tar fell off the side of the stage. It was me all along.
That's
Colonel Tryda.
Believe this. Try cease. Don't even try.
Has
become a different person.
Try.
Has it taken years of this
middle
show for someone to say "try, don't even try"?
Yes, probably.
We did it. We hit it.
We did it.
We peaked, guys, and this has been Bros in a Landfill.
Signing up.
Last
forever.
episode ever released. Yeah.
Sorry, Scrap. I couldn't beat this series for you.
That's like the kind of thing where it's I don't know, like it's you'd expect someone to have heard that joke their entire lives, but I've never heard anyone say that.
I've heard a lot of I've made a lot of like trying jokes, but cause but generally speaking, like I'm the one I'm the one that ends up making them facetiously.
Right, so everyone like coming at you like they're genius. Like it just came up with it for the first time in history.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was gonna say earlier is I've been playing the Persona 5 Muso sequel, and I've really been liking it.
There's
lot.
a Persona Muso. I feel like I found out about that already and forgot, and I'm again surprised.
Yeah, Persona 5 Phantom Strikers. It was released it was released like in Japan, I think, like last year, and it was released westward.
Very cool.
I think a week or two ago.
Okay.
And I've really been liking it, even though I'm on the Persona 5 hate train. I really like Persona 5 Phantom Strikers a lot. It's like I actually think it's my favorite Muso game
Why
as well.
did you just like become Squidward for a second?
Oh no! Yeah, it's because I'm
Just
I'm
like
a
with
bitter
your
old
just
man
like with
about-
your vocal mannerisms, you just like completely changed vocal registers there. And I feel like I'm not the only one who noticed that.
Do you
I feel
think?
like I can't be the only one who noticed that.
Do you think
I wasn't
Squidward comes
intentionally
home
doing
from like
Squidward.
a hard day of working at the Krusty Krab and puts on Muso games?
I totally believe.
Because he just
Nope,
has this
shit.
desire to just destroy like a bunch of people.
Hardest
You're
part of
making
the
progress,
stage,
you're
right
making-
there.
Hell yeah, you got this. What I was gonna I've had a love-hate relationship with Muso games. I absolutely love the One Piece Pirate Warriors games. They're the first Muso games I got into.
Sure.
I played Dynasty Warriors 7. I liked it quite a bit. Not a fan of Hyrule Warriors.
That's the only one. I played a little bit of like some random Samurai Warriors game like when I was like probably 14 or something. But Hyrule Warriors is the only one I put real time into.
Yeah,
and I liked all the fan service, and it was like fun to play. So I was like, okay, and then I was done with it.
Yeah, the Warriors games in general are great for like fan servicey sorts of things.
No!
I didn't hate.
I went over too
No!
far!
No! Scraps shakes his head in shame, making disappointment. Oh man, have you seen that Scraps is making levels again?
No.
He is?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, like he's been posting on I don't know if he's like still, but I've seen him like posting on Twitter talk about making levels.
Trybien with the monkey
Yeah,
scoop.
okay. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of tweets from him like that.
Well, shit.
Woo!
Like he's got the creative
Whoa, the
buzz again.
speed!
That was
The speed, baby!
That was spicy. That was spicy. Anyways, all I wanted to say is like the weird I've seen Persona 5 fans say that they don't like Phantom Strikers. So, like I read, there was like I think it was a Kotaku article, I don't remember exactly, but like people were saying it just feels off to them, and like it clicked to me. I like Persona 5 Phantom Strikers because it's off.
Right.
Like
you like it because you don't like Persona 5.
Well, it's like take all my criticisms of Persona 5. Persona 5 gets like in a lot of ways it feels just like another shallow Shin Megami Tensei. Oh, hit the weakness and then do the stuff. Done like all like the main cast don't even really feel like friends. They
Sounds like high school.
They're overly I mean it's realistic in the sense, but like the main cast doesn't have really that good of chemistry at all. All the villains are just haha super evil bad guy villain person,
right.
Which in and itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like in the Shin Megami Tensei series it's really weird because they like when you're talking about Shin Megami Tensei proper, it tends to be a series of
I'm close. I'm so close.
Hang in there, man. You got this.
Yeah, like Shin Megami Tensei proper tends to be a series about like moral gray areas and like,
right. No, it's upsetting for
philosophy.
To have an overly simple game in that series.
Yeah, and but in Persona, like so far in Persona 5 Phantom Strikers, it's like I believe that these people are friends. Like I believe that like they went through some shit together and like they actually get along with one another.
So is it like a canon sequel, or is it just some weird alternate bullshit?
I don't. It's weird. It's weird to say canon sequel because It's a sequel that plays off the canon. It gets really weird when you talk about Royal because Royal has its like own canon going, like third semester, like after like where the original Persona 4, well Persona 5 ends. So Persona 5 canon is already janky, especially when you consider maybe Tensei games tend to have multiple endings. So when you talk about canon, it's like, well, which canon are you talking about?
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I asked.
Yeah, but in my head, it feels like Persona 5, and it feels like it's actually a sequel to, like, playing it. It feels like a sequel to the base Persona 5 game.
Okay. It is important for characters to really have chemistry in a long-running adventure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. My favorite games, like in high school, were like BioWare RPGs. Where like, and I think they really set my kind of standards for like, what good like party members and like party banter is. Like in those games, like the characters have interactions with each other. They have like differences and like camaraderie, like depending on which ones they are. Like in Mass Effect, like they talk to each other when you're in the elevator.
No.
Oh fuck! In Dragon Age, like you'll make certain decisions that some party members like and other ones dislike, and like they're really great characters, and the way you react to them can change some of the character development, like, you know, whether or not they become more like hardcore or if they like get more of a moral backbone. Like, so I don't know, like when I jumping into Dragon Quest a couple of years ago and playing 11, I was really struck by like how the characters they'll be interesting for like their recruitment quest, and then like it'll feel like they never really matter again. And they don't play off each other that much, and I wonder if it's just if BioWare is just kind of ahead of most JRPGs in making the party like feel alive, or if just Dragon Quest was kind of a weak example.
I do think it's in terms of something like Persona, as like when I say Persona, I'm talking about specifically like the 3, 4, and 5, like have the same sort of weird characterization problem that you end up with like Danganronpa with the free time events there, social links here, where a lot of the character development in later Persona games happen
in optional sequences
outside of the main, like an optional main, like outside the main story.
Interesting.
And which is I think works fine in first three kind of does a bit of its own thing. It's very experimental with this stuff, and in a lot of ways, like 3's not trying to convince you that these guys are all friends. It's like, no, they really are just all tied by a common cause, and they grow closer together by being proximity in this common cause.
Yeah.
4, it's given like how the recruitment process works in 4, it's like, yo, you guys like really helped me through this troubling time. I respect you guys. I'm gonna hang out with you guys. Like it. Okay. Like it's like Persona 4 has probably the best friendship.
So close.
No!
So close.
No! No!
Oh, no! Fuck. It's because I paused.
We're so close, dude. So close. The way the camera zooms in on Mimi will never get old. She's just suspended in the air, just like helpless. Like there's something about it that's just so existentially like revealing.
Yeah. Like, but I'd say like in like Persona 3 and 4, like outside of like the social links, like there's no question that these are multifaceted, like not just trope characters. Like yeah, they have like their tropey moments, but there's a lot more going on with each of the characters and their dynamics and their relationships with one another. Like in Persona 5, it's like it doesn't feel that way. Part of that's the way that it's written. It's like they're so hyper focused on being the fan who takes their cause, and to the point where they end up getting in fights with one another. There's a whole like little arc I find personally obnoxious later on, where it's like,
got it. No,
like,
wait, what?
No, what?
I know what happened, but I'm still upset about it.
Yeah, no, you have every right to be.
No, I just went for it a little too soon.
Yeah,
and I slipped underneath the goal.
That sucks, dude. All right. Well, you've had two like near victories in a row.
We're so close.
We're so close.
But like
And I almost
in
just
general,
threw it all
just
the way right there.
you got this, bruh. You got this. This is your landfill. You own it. But I guess anyways, like
Kaizo
just like
Lake.
yeah, just Phantom Striker is just like
Wow,
like,
surprised
I'm
I
actually, like,
lived that actually. Didn't live that one though.
Shit.
no,
Give us a lowdown on,
like
on
Phantom Strikers is
Strikers.
yeah. It's like Phantom Strikers is really weird because typically speaking these like the Persona spin-offs tend to like water down the characters into tropes. Like they're
Yeah, that makes some sense.
they're like they're the shells of their former selves. Like they're hardly like the deep, multifaceted, interesting characters. I feel like what makes Phantom Strikers weird is that like for the most part I feel like it's actually doing a better job of making the characters feel like these multifaceted. Like yes, like they're these like edgy teenagers that have a grudge against the man, but they're also just going out like having fun, like focusing, like they've got like this new mission that they're doing and stuff, and like but their conversations just feel a lot more well balanced.
Interesting for the spin-off to do a better job of the characters than like the real deal.
Yeah, like a lot of Persona 5's better character writing is just within the social links, and even so, that's a toss-up because it's typically you just going around and just like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna brainwash someone into like not being a bad person so that they're not being mean to you anymore. That's what a lot of the social links boil down to in Persona 5.
Good brain.
But I think the other really fascinating thing about Phantom Strikers is like it's also, I would say, the best Muso game because it's not really a Muso game in the sense of like where you know the Muso formula, like, oh, you got big stage, millions of enemies, capture the points.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like
But-
this. It seems like a weird
No.
series to do a Muso.
Yeah, it's actually like
fuck!
it's like, oh no, damn it. It's actually a proper like kind of dungeon crawler. Like instead of like having millions of enemies on the screen, it's like there are times where there's a shit ton of enemies on the screen. But most of the time it's you have like it's the same like dungeon crawling format from the original Persona 5. You have you have your enemy walking around, like your security guard guy walking around. You sneak up, you ambush him, enemy spawn, you attack, exploit weaknesses, do your all-out attack to do a ton of damage, etc. But what makes it first of all, what makes it cool is like it actually plays a lot better than the original Persona 5 in terms of the stealth mechanics and the moving around.
Oh,
Like the stealth in base Persona 5 is awful.
I didn't know
doesn't play
Persona
well.
5 even had stealth.
Yeah, well, it's
a Phantom Thief
the
game.
Persona-
I guess that makes
Well, yes.
sense.
But it's a natural expansion of a mechanic in Persona 3 and 4, which is kind of I think 3 may have started the trend, but in a lot of JRPGs there's this trend of if you hit the enemy first, you get a 1-up, like you either get to like attack first or you deal some damage or whatever.
Yeah, you can get.
So- Yeah, but what they do in Persona 5 is with the added Phantom Thief stealth mechanic, you get to kind of, if you're hiding, like you can kind of do that from a distance rather than just attacking. It's, you hide, you sneak up, the prompt appears, you hit the triangle button, you jump them, you rip off their mask, and it becomes ambushed, and you're surrounded. You're surrounding the enemies,
Sure.
and you get the upper hand. I feel it's awesome. Like that's probably one of the best parts of Persona 5. But because the stealth mechanic is kind of janky in Persona 5, I don't know if this is the case with Royal. They may have fixed it in Royal. I'm not talking about that. It can be very frustrating, especially in some parts where there's a lot of cover places. But no, it feels great in in Phantom Strikers. And the Muso mechanics are actually relatively deep. Like there's a level progression system. They have the Persona Fusion system and whatnot.
Okay.
Each character has different actually, I think one of the cool things is they have what makes the game actually kind of really deep in terms of combat is yes, at any time you can like hit the I think R1 button and use a Persona skill for the use of SP, or you can combo into certain skills and you're free of using the SP. However, by not comboing, you are setting yourself up to getting countered or attacked, especially in boss fights.
Oh. Okay. I feel like
so it's like a little bit of a risk.
I feel like I get the gist, but like having not played the game, I have a tenuous grasp.
Well, okay. So it's kind of a mixture of like the JRPG command system where like it's my turn. I use this skill for this amount of SP.
Yeah.
As well as a combo of as well as the Muso system where it's like, you hit square, triangle, or basic attack, strong attack to use a special attack. So it's kind of a fusion of those two mechanics.
That sounds clever. Like I do appreciate changes to like the basics of how a Muso game like plays. It seems like they got pretty creative with this one.
Yes,
is this game 500 hours like the actual Persona 5?
I think it's only like 40 hours.
Wow, that still seems like a lot, like to play.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot for
I remember, like how long was Hyrule?
I mean, Muso games once you put. Muso games once you put hundreds of hours into like level every character to max.
Right, I mean more like main plot though, like main campaign.
Yeah, I think main plot's like only like 40 hours.
That's still like compared to Hyrule Warriors, it's so much. I don't remember how long you put into Hyrule.
Yeah. The first chapter feels like it feels pretty long, but it's doing a lot of setup. Once you get to the second chapter, it starts like opening up all the options and whatnot. And I breezed through the second chapter much faster than I did the first chapter.
Sure.
The other thing too that I'm kind of noticing what it's doing is it seems to be using each chapter like it's kind of reflecting the first game where it's like it's going through the characters in order of their chapters and Persona 5, and it's giving them a chapter to show them like, this is how they've grown since then. So, and I think that's really awesome. Like chapter 2 focuses chapter 2 focuses on Yusuke, who's the artist character, and it's all about this light novel author who's so the gimmick of Persona is like, change people's heart. There's this whole metaverse where people you can basically affect people's subconscious through there, and the fan thesis in Persona 5 use that to get bad guys to realize they've been bad guys.
Is Persona just Inception?
Confess. Depends. I'd say Persona 4 and 5 kind of, yes, because they both deal with specifically going into the world of the subconscious.
Holy shit, Persona's just Inception. Except there's no scene where the city folds over itself.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways,
there's no scene where the top
starts
spinning again.
Yeah. But like Persona 5 Phantom Strikers is like you have like these
got it!
Yeah! Yes! No one wants to hear me talk about Persona anymore. Let's end this episode right here, right now. We celebrate.
This has been Bros in a Landfill, and now we get to sign off.
Buy Persona 5 Strikers if you want.
Yeah, it's good. Like, if you want.
40 hours of gameplay. Nice, dude.
Yeah, it's fine.
We did it. That's our one stage this recording session. As sad as that sounds.
No, it's good. It's wonderful to see this freaking world get whittled down. Strike one. You know, we're taking it back for the Bros in a Landfill.
True.
This is a war of attrition, and we're not gonna lose.